Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. We're back at the basement and today we are going to be working on some low voltage. We're going to clean that area up and set everything up like an AV closet. So I got the monitor riser like I showed you guys in the last video, and everything's going to be sitting on top of this, and below it we are going to be putting this power pack. So this is a surge protector and a battery backup. I think it's called the UPS. So if the light was to go out, everything that's plugged into is this side stays powered, and this side is just surge protected. They're both surge protected, but this side has the battery backup. I didn't have to go with one so big, but I went with this one because it has two USB plugs, and I'm going to be needing it for this over here, which is a AV fan. Everything being inside of this cabinet, I didn't think for some reason it wasn't going to be a problem to overheat, but it turns out the things do overheat, especially this right here, the wireless router. So I gotta put some fans, and I'm looking to be putting it within this gap. So there's gonna be one in the bottom here and one on top, and the goal is to cut the metal face this size. But I'm going to see later on in the video, if I take these screws out, maybe I could just make the hole this big and just drill the holes for the screws to hold it on in the front. So we'll just have two circles instead of two giant squares. Make it look clean. So but first things first, we are going to take all of this apart and put this shelf in there with the power and everything and start building it little by little. I also have some wire management here, and I am also going to be running some of those data cables. As you guys can see, those wires are kind of short, so I am going to be making a couple of them. So stay tuned, and that's what's going to happen now. Before I get into what I just did up there, I want to show you guys my setup. This is where I keep all my, parts and low voltage tools. These are all the parts and these are the tools. This is what I usually take with me when I have to run a setup like I just ran, like in a friend's house or in a side job. This is pretty much the case that I take. I don't really need much more. Besides taking this, I also take this with me, which helps me build the wires. So this is one of those things that I bought randomly because it makes your work look cleaner. I don't use this material a lot, but when I do use it, everything comes out super clean. And then below here, I have all my extra low voltage and high voltage wires because you just don't know what you're gonna confront. So let me show you now the work. Look how clean this looks. We have the battery backup, the UPS down here. Everything's plugged into the battery side. So if I unplug that, which we should test after everything, we'll unplug it and we'll test it. Everything's supposed to be on if we lose power. And this is the router, I think. This is what connects to the Verizon box. This is what gives me the internet. And then I have it connecting to here, which is my Wi-Fi, and then connects to this splitter, and this splitter sends everything to the upstairs because I have 2 more of these upstairs in the master bedroom and in the guest bedroom, I call it, or office now. So yeah, this is the setup and this is what it is. Now the goal is to put the fans here. So I'm going to take a moment and take these apart and see how I'm gonna make this work.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotcha. I gotcha.
Okay, so I took it apart and this is what I'm going to be doing. As you can see, I really don't like this. Putting this here is gonna look really ugly and obnoxious. So I took it apart and I've decided I'm only gonna be making a hole like this and pushing this grill. Let me see if the camera can capture it. Pushing the grill through, or we could show you like this. Pushing the grill through just like that and screwing it in with an 832 screw. So I'll be doing a 3-inch hole here, and then lining this up in the back, making the holes, try to make it as straight as possible with a level, making the holes and then bolting them together. And one, as you can see the arrows, one is pushing out and this one, let me see, and this one is pushing in. So I'm gonna put this one in the bottom to be sucking the air in and putting this one in the top, bringing it out to bring the heat out, you know, because heat rises. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. This is a 3-inch hole, so I need to go to Home Depot because I don't have a 3-inch hole. And then the next thing you should be seeing me lay out some blue tape and start making some holes. the AV cabinet is officially complete. As you guys can see, I was able to take off the trim that goes on the outside and make the cabinet itself the trim. There was some alignment problems, as you can see. This side is more open than this side, and also over here is worse. It's hugging more over here than over here, and you can see a bit of the plastic there, but it's all right, and it's getting the job done. And like I said, it's the next day, and it's pretty cool in here. This area is pretty cool. It's not warm anymore, and we're good. This shouldn't have any problems of overheating anymore. As you guys can see, I used some nuts and some 832 screws. This one is a nylon nut because the fan is on and making vibration. I figured I'll put some nylon just so it won't get loose over time. This is the main fan. Then this fan is connected to the main one through this plug. Then it goes through here. I put a little bit of a wire control here, and then I got it being powered there. So now all we have to do is do the test, like I said earlier, of unplugging this, and let's see what happens. As you can see, I still have power. It's completely unplugged, and we're good. It's pretty awesome. So, oh, and the fan was still running while that was happening, so I didn't think that was gonna happen. So that's perfect. That's great. When making the holes in the cabinet, I was really scared and nervous because if I made the hole in the wrong spot, I'll mess up the whole cabinet. So when it came to making those holes, I was really scared. And I had a 3-inch hole saw in my box, but I ended up buying a new one because for something so delicate like this, I didn't want to use a old hole saw with maybe a tooth or two broken, and then, you know, you scratch that the wrong way. Although, as you guys saw, I bought some black spray paint and I was able to touch things up, but still, I don't want to cause myself more headache. So this was a bit of a challenge. This was new to me, but it ended up working out great. I'm happy and satisfied. So if you learned something new, you can show me by giving me a like. If you have any comments or questions, leave it in the comments down below. And if you want to see the rest of this project, consider subscribing. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thanks.